Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janaballabha Giridvaridhari Gopi Janaballabha Giridvaridhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Giridvaridhari Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Giridvaridhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Giridvaridhari Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Giridvaridhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitang Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. On the path of bhakti, questions are very important. Ordinarily, you would think that the answers are most important. But in bhakti, the questions are important and the answers. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, you see both the answers and the questions glorified. Pritchett Maharaj glorifies Shukadeva Goswami for giving the perfect answers. Answers that stimulate ecstatic love of Krishna. And Shukadeva Goswami glorifies Pritchett Maharaj for asking leading questions, questions that lead to deeper understanding of Bhagavat Tattva, the science of God, and questions that lead to deeper stimulation of ecstatic love of God. It is popular, however, among some circles in material life to say that spiritual life is all about eternally searching, eternally seeking, asking questions that will never be answered. Some of those persons even claim that this will satisfy the soul. Just constant questioning, even though there are no answers. Obviously, such a notion comes from an imperfect intelligence. Since there are no real answers, it must be the constitutional position of the soul to just ask questions eternally. Srimad Bhagavatam, as well as Bhagavad Gita, however, give the perfect questions and the perfect answers. So you're not left with just an ongoing quest. I'm searching, I'm learning. But what are you searching for? And what are you trying to learn? What's the lesson? I don't know, but I'm learning, I'm searching, I'm experiencing. Some people think this is advanced life, advanced human civilization, to be constantly searching and never finding. Because they say there's nothing absolute to be found. So just be satisfied with an ever unanswered question. You'll feel fulfilled in that way. In making spiritual progress in bhakti, one should inquire. Everyone knows in Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Krishna is saying, if you want to know the truth, if you truly want to understand all that he has explained before in terms of the different types of sacrifices, then you should approach representatives of Krishna. And what is the result of having approached such representatives? The next verse tells you, Yajgatva na punar moham. You won't be an illusion anymore. So if we have actually properly approached Krishna's representatives, then no longer will be an illusion. Now, what is a symptom of no longer being an illusion? Krishna says you'll see that all living beings are his parts. What does it mean to approach submissively, to inquire submissively? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that inquiring submissively means listening, hearing, with the intention of applying what you hear. You see, we may think that inquiring submissively means simply physical postures. I would like to ask a question. Can you please explain? That may be submissive, it may not be. Everything depends on the attitude of the inquirer. So whether you use the physical postures or not, what is the mentality of the one asking the question? Are we asking questions with the desire to apply what we have heard? That desire is what makes for the submissiveness in the hearing. Not ritualistic hearing, in which we sit and listen because simply we're supposed to listen. Even still, even if we do that, of course, the transcendental sound vibration will benefit us to some degree. But the kind of hearing that produces the full effects in bhakti, yajgatva na punarmoham, you won't be in an illusion anymore. That kind of submissive hearing means I'm applying, I want to apply what I've heard. When you have that desire in your heart as you're listening, then you can feel the transcendental effect on your heart. You can feel your heart being purified because you're listening submissively and attentively. That means I'm going to apply what I've heard. Inquiries in bhakti also involve two departments. You want to inquire about what accelerates the spiritual advancement and what impedes the spiritual advancement. So the serious disciple asks those kinds of questions of the Guru. What will accelerate my spiritual life and what will impede it? We're always trying to understand those two things. In Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami explains the 6 loving exchanges, Dadati, Pratigranati. And 2 of those 6 loving exchanges are about revealing the mind. It's a loving exchange for you to reveal your mind to another devotee, and another devotee reveals the mind to you. But sometimes we're a bit confused about this instruction. We think that revealing the mind means just expressing anything that's running around in your head and listening to the other person express anything that's running around in their head. No. Revealing the mind, as presented by Rupa Goswami, means revealing to each other about what accelerates devotional service and what impedes it, both in terms of one's own personal life and in general. So you can see that so much of the inquiry in bhakti is about how to move forward and how not to go backward. Now, why is that? You see, the material energy is never stable. It's dynamic. It's always moving. Therefore, one has to either move forward towards Krishna or one will be dragged backwards. The material energy does not provide us with any plateau. The expression, sink or swim. When you're in a river or ocean and the waves are very big, you cannot just stay in one situation. You have to either swim forward or you sink. You may try to tread water, but the waves are too big for that. And that is the nature of the Bhava Sindhu, the ocean of becoming and unbecoming. As Srila Prabhupada writes in one purport in Bhagavatam, I believe, 2nd canto. The waves are tossing and rising and falling as things become and unbecome in material existence. We should question. Because situations, due to the influence of time, are constantly changing. The path of bhakti doesn't change. The eternal essence of the living entity doesn't change. But the material external circumstances do change. And that is why, one reason why we require parampara guidance. Krishna tells Arjuna, I'm going to teach you the same thing. When Krishna says the Bhagavad Gita, the message that he taught became lost. Sakalenaha mahata yoga nashta parantapa. He doesn't mean that the verses became lost. He means that the precise meaning, the as it is, became lost. And so therefore he's speaking it again, meaning Krishna is giving the precise meaning. So now that we have been discussing questions and answers for a while, I would like to ask you if you have any questions about anything. We discussed how questions are a very important part of spiritual life. Maybe sometimes we don't realize that. It's not that we need to artificially manufacture questions, but it is a fact that there'll be some aspect of our life that we want clarified. Because again, it's the nature of material existence to be constantly changing, becoming and unbecoming. How to apply bhakti in those changing circumstances. Yes.
I have a question relating to a point Vaisheshika Prabhu made this morning about the bird being afraid to leave the house. I'm wondering if you can explain how we are afraid of becoming Krishna conscious in a sense.
Of course, His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu is right there. You didn't know, but he's right there. He wants you to explain the bird example. Give him the microphone.
I think it would be better if we hear your answer.
So you want to know, the bird was terrified, even though Vaisheshika Prabhu was saving the bird and letting him out. The bird thought, you are here to do me in. Whereas Vaisheshika Prabhu was opening this window, that window, providing so many options for the bird to become liberated. But the bird thought, oh, he looked at him with terrified eyes. You're the one, you're the cause. You're the one who's put me in this situation. To understand what Krishna is doing with us requires knowledge and guidance. That's why Bhagavad Gita stresses that bhakti always is coupled with guidance because of the circumstances which may be challenging us to lose sight of Krishna's hand in everything. Becoming more advanced in bhakti means to become more expert at seeing Krishna's hand in all aspects of a devotee's life. We're terrified, like the little bird, because we're attached to our way of doing things, our concepts. Just like Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. He was attached to his conceptions, and therefore he presented a whole protest to Krishna why he shouldn't fight. As you know from your study of first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was even utilizing the holy names of Krishna to justify his not fighting. You're Madhava, the husband of the goddess of fortune. Where's the good fortune if I fight? So he was attached to his concepts. Tat kim karmani gore mam, he says, I believe in the beginning of the 3rd chapter. Why do you ask me to engage in this ghastly warfare? That verse most reminds me of the terrified look on the face of the bird. Tat kim karmani gore mam. Why do you ask me to engage in this terror? That means we're attached to our concepts. And if there is going to be any worship of God, any performance of devotional service, it has to be on our terms. Then we're not afraid. As long as Krishna supports our terms, God is good. You've heard that expression sometimes when a particular momentary happy moment came in your life, your friends told you, yeah, life is good. No, never happened. I've seen it happen. Just some momentary acquisition or momentary so-called good thing, and someone will make the comment, life is good, huh? On a day that it snowed in the morning, by the time you want to use your car, the sun has already melted the snow on your windshield. So someone says, oh, life is good, huh? Just little things like that. You know? And in this way, you're considered to be upbeat and positive. What supports our program, that's good. That means life is good. But Krishna, we don't know. We're a little afraid. We hear that Krishna's name is Hari, one who takes away. But we don't understand the full meaning of Hari, one who takes away all the impediments and rewards us with ecstatic love. We just fear, he's taking away, he's taking away. In American prosperity religion, very popular form of Christianity, it's considered very essential to see how God is giving to you, according to your conceptions. I remember one song in the Christian church when I was young, they taught, you just can't beat God giving, no matter how you try. So, God giving to me in a way that I can recognize, that is the love supreme. But if we're so tiny parts of Krishna, how can we impose our conceptions, our program? That's exactly what Arjuna does in Bhagavad Gita. At the end of Bhagavad Gita, of course, Arjuna has clarified his position. Nashta moha smritir labda karishe vachanam tava. Oh Krishna, my illusion is now gone. I'm prepared to act according to your instructions. So the fear is that Krishna is not cooperating with our conceptions. That's the fear. The solution is to deepen our knowledge and experience of Krishna, and then we won't feel so insecure. We want to be like a child who immediately takes shelter of the mother's lap and feels safe and secure. It takes some time in bhakti to free ourselves from so much of the contaminations making us hesitant. How can there be love when there's hesitancy? Real love flows, as Kunti Devi said, like all the rivers are flowing into the ocean. What is that verse? Gange Vogam. Yes. Gange Vogam Udanvati. When Prabhupada chants it, he puts the flow in it. Gange Vogam Udanvati. Because the Ganga's flowing into the ocean. That's real love. Not interrupted. The interruptions, as the Bhagavatam explains, are caused by material motivations. Hetu, material causes. But ahitukiya pratiyata. No interruptions because there are no material motivations. Then the love flows. Learning how to trust Krishna. That's very important. Therefore, we're reading the books very closely so we get over our hang-ups, which are impeding the spontaneous flow of love for Krishna. Anything else? Yes.
I have a question.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for the class. I was hearing that you were presenting the topic of questions, the importance of questions. And I have a curiosity, because there are many variables that can be involved in producing a question or making a question. For example, I can make a question in private or in public. Or a question can come from lack of reading, or because I was really trying to connect certain concepts, right? And there's probably more variables to consider. So I was wondering which is the best way to combine all these variables to make an effective and efficient question. I don't know.
You want to ask the perfect question. The questions in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam are perfect. That's why, as we spoke earlier, Shukadeva Goswami glorifies the questions of Pritchett Maharaj. Uryane Shate Prashna. The Prashna, your questions, they're glorious. They benefit the whole world. They satisfy the self. So yes, that is our aspiration, to be able to ask questions that are glorious, that benefit the whole world and satisfy the self. That will take some purification. But as we spoke earlier, a devotee asks questions about what will accelerate the spiritual life and what will impede it. And yes, one day we aspire to ask questions like Pritchett Maharaj. Some of the questions you notice in Bhagavatam, you'd never think that you would ask that, right? So then we have to think, why would Pritchett Maharaj ask such a thing? Why does he consider that a priority? Similarly, the questions between Vidura and Maitreya, all the dialogues in Bhagavatam. We can see how to align our intelligence perfectly by studying the questions in the Shastra. Such questions are not about where is money, where is gratification, where is entertainment. Therefore, it takes us a while to become accustomed to the perfect questions of Srimad Bhagavatam, because we're used to questioning about all the wrong things. We can practice asking questions. Practice, in other words, to attain the goal of asking a perfect question. Questions on this side? Yes?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your wonderful class. My question is, like, sometimes in relationship, like immediate relations with brothers, sisters or anything, sometimes it happens because you are a devotee, they want you to become good, better and best, and they want to exploit your goodness. And so sometimes it happens like you can't cut the relationship with them, or we can't tolerate also, and it gives burden on mind. So how to behave in such situations?
Okay, what I heard was that this problem with brothers and sisters.
Like,
Hi, Kishore, Kishore.
like
Nature of exploitation between brothers and sisters?
not brothers and sisters, like immediate relatives or immediate relatives,
Family relatives.
family members, yeah.
So what about that?
Like you are a devotee, so they want us like to become best, and they want to exploit your good nature.
They want to exploit your good nature because what?
Like you are a devotee, so they think like you should be good, best, but they
You should
want
be good what?
good and best kind of thing, like better and best.
He's saying that because you're a devotee, the family may take advantage and trying to exploit you're supposed to be good, so how to avoid that? Is that right, Matthew?
You're supposed to be good, so therefore wash everyone's clothes all day long, every day. Devotee means one who knows expertly what is best for Krishna's pleasure. This is why guidance is required. A devotee means one who knows what to do and when. Just like Mother Yashoda. What was happening while she was nursing Krishna? Krishna was in another room taking a nap, and Mother Yashoda was churning milk products, especially for Krishna. And then Krishna came and grabbed the churning rod, indicating to his mother, the first thing you should be doing is feeding me. So Mother Yashoda picked Krishna up on her lap, and while staring into his infinitely beautiful face, began to feed him. But, as you know, in Damodar Leela, the milk on the stove began to boil over. So Mother Yashoda put Krishna down. Now, was that a mistake? No, because everything in her house, everything she does is for Krishna's pleasure. Nevertheless, Krishna wanted to make a scene. So he became angry for pushing on the pastime. So Mother Yashoda was not at fault. She knows. You see, she was concerned Krishna is breaking into everyone else's house, taking milk products. What's wrong with the milk products in my home? So she was personally making such milk products for Krishna. She wouldn't even entrust the task to her maidservants. So the point Srila Prabhupada makes is that Mother Yashoda naturally knew when to do what for Krishna. It's just that Krishna was taking advantage of the situation to pretend to be angry. As we become more expert in bhakti, we're more expert at understanding what Krishna wants at a particular time. And we can always ask for guidance about that. And certainly you can always have a prayerful attitude in the heart. Oh Krishna, what's the best thing to do right now? Not for my pleasure, but for your pleasure. Don't think that that prayer goes in vain. In fact, chanting Hare Krishna is all about appealing to Krishna. Please let me engage in your service. Let me please your senses. The more our consciousness focuses on that point, the more intelligence Krishna gives us for how to please him. And as he says in Bhagavad Gita, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. If you're constantly serving me with priti, with affection, and it's constant, I'll teach you, I'll give you customized instructions how to attain me. The instructions in Bhagavad Gita are good for everyone in all times and all places. Still, Krishna says, I'll give personalized versions of my personal instructions in Bhagavad Gita to those who are constantly devoted and serve me with priti. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I have two questions. First question is, in this session you have told about revealing the heart to the senior devotees. Practically, what I find for myself is there are so many senior devotees around me and everyone is very busy in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how should I understand that I don't find anybody close to me? So how can I reveal my heart to those people?
Well, I didn't simply say reveal your heart to senior devotees. I said in revealing your heart with devotees, it's not about just talking any wild thing that comes to your mind. It's about what will increase our Krishna consciousness and what will slow it down, especially as applied to your own life or the other person's life. That's what the confidential inquiries are meant to be about. Not simply, what movie did you watch last night instead of coming to the temple? That's not the confidential inquiry that Devamitra Swami is referring to.
Yes, Maharaj. I have second question, like in the beginning of my introduction to Krishna consciousness, I was told that one should get cultivated by a senior devotee or Guru Maharaj. Okay, one should be under the shelter of the spiritual master. Cultivation should continue. But as we grow in Krishna consciousness, years and years goes on, and there are many chances that I might commit offenses to some other devotees, but I'm not aware of it. Initially, I would be more cautious. Later, I will not be. So, this cultivation methodology should continue eternally in this life, or how is that?
This what should it?
Cultivation of our Krishna consciousness by seniors should continue eternally.
There are always going to be devotees better than us who give Krishna more pleasure than us. And yes, we always seek their association.
Okay. Yes, Maharaj.
That is true while we're in the material world, and it will also be true in the spiritual world. Of course, the dearest devotee to Krishna, Srimati Radharani, thinks that everyone, all the other devotees are better than she is. And therefore, with that understanding, she recommends devotees to Krishna. This devotee is better than me, Krishna. In terms of practicing bhakti in this world, yes. Put yourself in a situation in which there are more advanced devotees around you. And then notice their behavior. And when you see a particular quality that you want, you pray to Krishna, oh, I'd like to be like that. And then the super soul in your heart notices, oh, all right, I'll help. So this is part of the Vaishnava sport. You're seeing around you all the good qualities of the devotees, and you're praying to the super soul, oh, I would like to have that quality. Amazing how that devotee acts, how that devotee behaves. I would like to be like that. And the super soul in your heart notices. So that's part of the Vaishnava sport of Sangha. You become expert at spotting all the wonderful qualities of devotees, and then you beg the Lord in the heart, please help me develop those qualities. This is what makes life exciting. It's the best sport. Just like ordinary persons, they go to some sports game hoping to see some outstanding plays. They hope to see the athletes do something especially wonderful. So similarly, we're always surrounding ourselves with devotees so that we can always see the superlative qualities they have. Become inspired by those superlative qualities, and then ask Krishna, please, one day, I would like to have such qualities. This is what makes life exciting, a thrill every moment. Last question. All right.
Like you are explaining right now, like we should see only good qualities of the devotee. But the nature of the mind is it sees good and bad, and it's focused only on bad, like most of the time. So how to cope up that or avoid and to maintain our consciousness clear, to see only good qualities in the devotee?
We should always remember Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's tool that he's giving us to deal with that mentality of criticism. He says, the only reason why I see a fault in you is because I have that same fault 1,000 times more in me, and therefore I'm the world's expert in that fault. That's why I see it in you, even though it's just a little bit in you. I see it because I'm the expert. I have it thousands of times in me. ISKCON Prabhu wants to make a last comment.
I just read recently in the 11th canto a commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in which he speaks about how there's the sadhu and the duratma, and there's 3 kinds of sadhus, and they're advanced according to these characteristics. First level sees both the good and bad qualities in each person. Second one above that sees the good and bad qualities, but only recognizes the good. And the third one finds good qualities where there are none. And on the opposite side, the Duratma, he recognizes three, that the person, he sees, although the person has good and bad qualities, he only sees the bad. Second one is, he sees good and bad qualities, but he especially augments the bad one. And the third one is that he's particularly degraded because he finds bad qualities where there are none. So he says, based on nindari shunya hridamipsita sangalabhya, this quality of not having this ninda, criticizing impulse within the heart, people are more or less advanced. Just thought it fit with that segment.
Is that from Laghu Bhagavatamrita?
No, it's from the Bhagavatam.
Ah.
It's embedded in the commentary, and then it's actually there in the purport given by the servants of His Divine Grace, and then it's more explicitly unpacked in the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary that you gave me.
All right, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Devamitra Maharaj Ki Jai.